What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Without Warning podcast. This is Matt. I'm here with Michael.
What's up?
Today, we're going to dive into a topic that me and Michael have been discussing for a while, always going back and forth on, and we just want to share our thoughts with you guys. So the topic's going to be us ranking Drake's albums. Mixtapes, technically. We're going to leave out Care Package and What a Time to Be Alive just because, one's just a tape put together of kind of throwaways or just leaked songs. Unreleased. And then What a Time to Be Alive, as we know, is a collab album with Future. So, Michael, if you want to start, give your number one Drake album.
You know what? I'm going to roll the other way and start with the ninth.
Oh, so we're going from...
I'd say that, yeah. It's
okay.
More,
okay. That makes sense. All right.
Anticipate what the, final two are going to be. So I'm going to go, no surprise here, and go with Dark Lane demo tapes as my ninth. I liked it. It was released at a pretty good time. Not much music was dropping, last year during, when quarantine started. It's not a bad mixtape. I wasn't really impressed, but I wasn't disappointed either.
Right.
It had some highlights, some songs like Deep Pockets I liked.
Obviously the first two that he kind of dropped, right? The Pack.
When to Say When, Chicago Freestyle is one of my favorites.
That's the highlight for me.
Yeah, I liked War, but that came out, Christmas Eve, 5 months before, so Time Flies was pretty good too. 2C Slide, obviously, but that was dropped a month before. Not a bad project, but definitely at the bottom for me.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We all know when Drake dropped it, it was just to hold us over until CLB, which it did for 2 months, and then that time passed, and we're still waiting.
We're still waiting for that shit.
But yeah, I agree. Dark Lane demo tapes is ninth.
And so this leads us to number 8. And, some people might actually be surprised at this one. We know one of our listeners, Isaiah, he's a big fan of this project.
I think it's his number one.
We talked about it on Instagram actually today. He
yeah.
sent a quick message to us on our podcast.
And he said it before
Instagram.
Too, so I knew that.
Yeah, so, no surprise if he hears this. He knows what's coming. I have More Life at 8. Great playlist, a good summer vibe to it. Definitely has some highlights on it. It's got a lot of songs I like. I just think there's so much better projects that Drake released. So, some highlights for me. I like Do Not Disturb. That's a classic. Blem. I liked Blem. Free Smoke. And probably my favorite song on this one actually is Passion Fruit.
Yeah.
Definitely a highlight for me, but it's got a lot of good songs, just not my favorite.
It definitely had some skips, right? Some songs
for sure. Yeah.
that were just okay, but
I got sick of Get It Together. KMT, got sick of that a little bit.
Yep.
I liked Can't Have Everything. Glow. Yeah, I listened to it for a little bit. Fake Love was a big song. I think one of the most underrated songs on there actually is Since Way Back featuring Party Next Door. It's definitely one that, not too many people probably listen to the whole thing through,
Yeah. In our video where we went over every Drake project and list our top 3 or 2.
It was 2, yeah.
From that album, that was one of the 2 that I picked. So
of course, Teenage Fever, if you ever want to get in your feelings, that's a good one for it.
So for me, number 8.
Yeah, what's your 8?
I know you're probably not going to like this answer, but I put So Far Gone.
Damn.
Just
really?
because.
Wow.
2009, I wasn't a big Drake fan. You were. Even before that, I was a fan. Best I ever had was since
08, sort of.
That's what put me on to Drake, and it has some great songs, but what is it? It's 18 songs, and there's only 3 or 4 that I'll go back to. Lust for Life, Say What's Real, Best I Ever Had, and Fear was on what?
Fear, I consider Fear on there.
It's not on Apple Music, but
it's on
If you look on
It
Google,
was before Drake
yeah,
dropped like the thing. It used to be like a 7-song version that
right.
was on
And
there.
I think some of those are his best songs, but I just everything else for me, just I didn't really
Damn.
fuck with it when it came out, and
Damn,
just
I'm looking
old
at it right
Drake.
now. Like,
I just something about his voice, and
yo, you're
I wasn't
tripping,
into it.
bro.
I wasn't
What?
into Drake during '09. I was more on like
Yo, you're
Kanye and Kid
tripping.
Cudi.
I mean, me too, but I like Drake. Like, he was one of my first.
Well, you came up with him, so you have that like
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
that like more of a childhood, because that's 12 years ago. Think about it. You were like 11, bro.
Definitely, I placed that era of Drake. Like, that's like kind of growing up.
Goat. Yeah.
Like growing up, like just hearing "So Far Gone," you know.
And the fact that I have it eighth, it doesn't mean I don't like the project. Like I
Same for
enjoy
me
all
in my
these
life.
projects.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just for me, that's just how I feel about it. So,
So, all right, that leads.
let's go to your seventh.
My 7th, and this one I had a lot of hype for. The time it was dropping. You know, I'm not gonna say it really disappointed. I mean, it definitely had tons of highlights. It had, you know, a good story to be told, and it was kind of unique in terms of the length and the style
Yeah.
of it.
Even the name.
And
Right.
that's Scorpion
Yeah, figured.
for me. Just the reason why it's 7th. I mean, it has a lot of highlights. You know, I like A side a lot. I like some songs on B side, but to me, I feel like B side has a few songs that I just don't necessarily want to hear on a Drake album. I don't know if you agree or what.
Like what songs? I do agree, but I just wanna
Ratchet
hear.
Happy Birthday. You know, I wasn't a fan of Blue Tint.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that song. I don't know why.
I know what
And,
you mean. It's a little.
You know, Summer Games was mid.
It was
like-
different.
I'd much rather have Vital
Oh yeah.
on B side, like on there. I liked Final Fantasy, like the second half though.
Right.
March 14th was good. It's just
So it's like songs that you kind of liked, or like you liked the second
Yeah,
half. I mean,
and-
it wasn't one where you were like blown away with.
even on A side, like I'm not gonna lie, I was not a fan of I'm Upset. I know you and Bank like that one a lot, but
Yeah, I liked it a lot when it came out. Now, kind of sitting with the album.
So, I mean-
It's not really a highlight.
Scorpion, like it was had a lot of hype, but I just didn't think it delivered on what I thought it was going to deliver on. I know Drake had a
Right.
lot of shit going on with the whole push situation and the whole kid thing.
Maybe,
He was making it, and he kind of had to add some shit up on the fly.
yeah, that's
Um,
true.
He was probably a little bit more stressed during this one, but you know, it's still a good project, still a good album. I just could do without some of the songs on B side, and that's really all say about it. I thought the production was fire, and he had some
Alright.
good bars on there.
Let me ask you, what's your like favorite tracks from the project? Like, what's a highlight to you?
God's Plan, definitely.
Yeah.
'Cause when that first came out, we heard the
I mean,
little
that was a
snippet.
moment. Yeah,
I like Mob Ties,
nonstop.
Nonstop. Is There More is actually a
Is
good.
there more? Yep.
It's a good one for me. I like Peak, Jaded, Nice for What,
Emotionless is a good one, right?
Motionless, Don't Matter to Me. I kind of wish he added like the lost demo version of it where he's like singing
Yeah,
on
yeah.
there. I think that would have been crazy. As,
That
like,
was
a little-
without Michael Jackson, right?
Yep, a little outro. He should have added that, but I like March 14th. And yeah, so that's my 7th. And Matt, what are you rocking with?
So for me, another one that I know you're not gonna be too fond of, but Thank Me Later. For me.
Really?
Yeah, just older
Man,
Drake, like I
man.
said, is at the
That's
bottom
your
of my
thing, like,
list.
You're not really, yeah.
I've been consistent with that. I've always,
Yep.
I'm somewhat of a newer Drake fan, I guess. Like,
Yep,
I haven't been a big fan since the beginning, but, some highlights from the project over, obviously. I
Yeah,
think
definitely.
Fancy was great.
Fancy was good. Yeah.
The Light Up's a good song.
Mhm.
And then Find Your Love. That's kind of like all that I like from the project. I don't know. Everything else, like, I think some of the production's whack. But back then, like 2010, it fit the times.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the features on this project, though. It's crazy. Alicia Keys, T.I., Swizz Beatz, The Dream, Young Jeezy, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne. And that's when Drake was just like,
And that's
really
what Drake
coming up.
said in his Rap Radar interview, that he wanted to just get as much people
Really?
on on as he could.
He said
mentioned it
that
a little bit.
I've seen that video like 10 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk about
I
that.
don't remember that part. No.
Really.
Damn.
So I said like maybe one of his, he thought maybe his lesser projects. That's
Oh,
the
you know what?
time
I
when
do
he was
remember
coming
it.
up, like,
And then
you
he
know-
was like, after a while, like, I realized having Alicia Keys on a song doesn't just automatically make it good. You know?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember that. But
Which I think that song is actually good too.
yeah.
In my opinion. Fireworks. But
Good album. Like I said, it's just I'm more of a fan of Drake. Like from there on, you know, I felt like he just
Mhm.
bloomed from there.
I definitely understand.
So what are we on, 6?
Real quick, can we? You think we can play some of the songs or no?
Probably not, bro. Not with this new mic that we got.
No, like that copyright stuff.
I don't know.
Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Play some of the albums. So I like to play little clips. But that leads us to our 6th one. And I had tons of hype for this one.
Yeah.
Tons of hype. Probably the biggest, most hype, maybe outside of CLB for an album. And I'm pretty sure you all know what that is, and that's Views. I have Views at 6. You know, I like the album a lot. It's like, now that some time has passed, at first, like when I first heard it, I liked it, like I had some songs on replay, but I would have put that like last probably. But after a while, the songs kind of like the flow of the album kind of grows on you, and you just kind of like appreciate it more, and how like the album was set up. Like it's kind of winter, and you're kind of going through the seasons into summer, and then you get like, you know, some of the highlights I think were definitely like Controlla, Still Here was good, Child's Play, Too Good featuring Rihanna, Fire and Desire, Hotline Bling was out for a while at the time, but I really like 9, Feel No Ways,
You With
Hype,
Me? You With Me,
Western Road Flows, like Redemption is a good vibe to it. Like there's a lot of great songs in here. Faithful, like it's hard to really go against Views. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, I've heard people say they don't like it. It's like their least favorite project by Drake, but
you know what? Views kind of
just did his thing on this.
Yeah.
Like it's different. Maybe not for like the time it dropped.
Right.
Maybe, but like a couple of years later, you kind of let the album grow on you. Like 4 years later, and you kind of appreciate the overall sound and quality of it. So that's 6 for me.
Just like he said on Wants and Needs.
Basically, yeah.
You know?
I'm for sure he was talking about Views, probably, right?
Come with a classic. Years go by, they call it a sleeper, something like that, right?
People call Views a sleeper now.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time they weren't, but kind of like me, I kind of changed up on that. So, Matt, what's your 6th?
For me, it's a project you already named that you had 8th, More Life.
Okay.
You know, definitely, yeah, towards like the bottom of the rankings. You know, he calls it a playlist. I don't know what the difference is between that and like a mixtape. It's the same thing pretty much, right?
It's a fancy way to say it. Right?
Like I put More Life in the category of like, if you're reading this, it's too late, and like Dark Lane demo tapes, like how
sure.
it was put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know, I think I liked it a little more than you. Just to go over some highlights: Free Smoke, Passion Fruit. I think Get It Together was a good track. Blem.
Yeah.
I like 4422, Galchester.
Yep.
Portland was great when it came out. Nothing's Into Somethings, Teenage Fever, obviously. Since Way Back, Fake Love, and Do Not Disturb. So there's not a lot of skips for me, but there's not many songs that are like, you know, blew me out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, it was a consistent project for me.
Definitely, I agree.
And, you know, just one that I go back to more than any of the projects that I've listed so far. So I like More Life.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll go with my number 5th. And that's Thank Me Later.
Yeah.
You know, this one was at a time, bro, like...
Yeah, so try to, like, convince me why it should be higher.
I can't convince you.
Yeah.
No matter what
like,
I try.
Give, like, your counter argument.
It's just, it was the time it dropped, and,
Yeah.
and when I first started, I mean, not really first, because I already heard like most of So Far Gone before, but this was like,
But like you established yourself as a
Yeah.
Drake fan, and you were like, okay, I'm
And
ready
then-
for
and
like
then this
what's
dropped.
coming next.
and like hearing the songs like Up All Night was kind of like a banger. Show Me a Good Time, Over was bumping that on repeat, and those were like the songs when I was younger, right? So I heard like Up All Night, Show Me a Good Time, Fancy,
Kind of more like the
Miss Me, Find Your Love.
radio hits in a way. Where
Yep.
like
And then like I kind of took some years off from not really listening
Yeah.
to it, and then kind of replayed the album and heard some more like the deeper cuts.
yeah, like the bars where you can kind of relate to stuff
The
you was talking about. Maybe.
Resistance was,
Yeah, okay.
I think that's a classic. Karaoke and Fireworks had a good little vibe to it.
Yeah, Karaoke was a good track.
Shut It Down, the song that gets you in your feelings, like
Mm-hmm.
that last half with with the dream and stuff. That's a good one. Light Up to me has some great bars, and it's like Jay-Z's kind of, Hove is kind of like explaining to him what his like future will kind of
Right.
become, like saying how rap feuds and stuff, and like Drake's had a lot of those.
It was
So now,
right, yeah.
now that I've heard, like now that I know about the Drake feuds he's had, and hearing what Jay-Z was telling him in 2010, it's like, damn, really? Well, like the song is kind of so
Because
underrated.
Jay-Z was
And
already
then, Thank You
17
Now
years
too.
in.
He had a line about like NBA players that rappers want to be them, and
vice
they want to
versa,
be
yeah.
rappers, and it's like seeing the relationship between Drake and some of these
Ron
like
and now
Bron,
like
KD,
Damian Lillard,
all this
rapping,
stuff
and
like that. Yep.
You know,
KD
Drake-
has a studio in his
Yep.
house. I'm
Drake
like,
thinks he's an athlete.
Drake
Tears
has
an
his-
ACL, can't drop a project.
but Drake has, it was good hearing that when I was older, and that's why it's number 5. I think it's a little underrated now. I think people got to go back and listen to it again and see some like the highlights that they might not have seen,
Yeah.
the first time listening to it.
And that might happen. I might go back to it and it might just click.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened before. So for me, number 5 is another project you already named, Scorpion.
Okay.
Just looking at it right now, I was looking at the More Life track list. I think it's like a better version of More Life in a way. Like kind of the same length,
I know what
not
you're
two
saying,
halves, but I don't know. I think it had a lot of hits. I think Nonstop was great. Emotionless was great. God's Plan, his biggest song.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I really liked when it dropped, but now it's just kind of whatever to me.
I know
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mob Ties was great. Talk Up, I think, is the most slept on song in the project. Is There More?
Talk Up. Yeah. That's slept on for sure.
The second half, I definitely agree with you. There was some misses for me. Peak, I wasn't a big fan of. I just think it was kind of...
I like
it was
the sound
almost
of it.
too slow. Like, I enjoy his slower music, but it was just like...
Not really.
The beat was
Damn.
just like...
I fuck with that one. Yeah. Like,
Not a bad song.
it's
And then Summer Games, it was
okay.
different. I think Drake tried to go different there. Jaded, I really liked. Nice for What is good, but that's like a,
I like Nice for
made
What.
for a
Yeah.
certain.
That's like a radio hit.
Yeah, Finesse was really good. I think that's another sleeper that not a lot of people talk about.
Finesse. Yeah.
That's How You Feel. I forget that one.
There's some. We'll go over this one in another video, but there's some definitely like little Easter eggs in that song. Things he says, like
Really?
he says things and then like repeats it, like he says like a line, and then says the same line. Like it's hard to explain, but if you look at the lyrics, that's definitely a good one too.
That's How You Feel. That is a good song.
Yep.
And I liked After Dark actually with Static Major, and then of course March 14th, which is Drake always has good closers to his project. Remind me of Do Not Disturb.
A little bit. Yep.
So yeah, let's hear your fourth.
My fourth, and this one.
This is when it starts getting a little spicy.
Get a little serious.
Yeah.
So this is the one that started it all for me. It's So Far Gone. That intro, Lust for Life, followed by Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. Something about that just hearing the beats on that one, and
No, Lust for Life is great.
yeah, that's a great
Just a
one.
little intro on the
You
instrumental.
feel like you're listening to it and you're like in space somewhere,
Yeah.
like looking at like Earth just from a distance. Or
You gotta
something.
like be somewhere with like a crazy view.
You gotta be in like
You know what
in,
I mean?
in Vegas, just leaning over like a balcony, looking at like the lights, or in New York City, just looking up.
You gotta be like by yourself too.
Yeah,
You know, just like thinking.
thinking about life. Houston or Vegas is a good one. Like Successful, bro. Anytime like I'm down, I'm feeling like some type of way, whatever. Put that song on, just gives you some hope about
Super catchy too.
success and stuff. And November 18th, like that's a great one too. Ignorant Shit, Wheezy, A Night Off is good. Say What's Real, it's been one of my favorite songs. These bars on that one are crazy, with using Kanye's beat on Say You Will from 808s and Heartbreak. Best I Ever Had, one of the first songs I've ever heard.
Me too. That was the first song. And that's what put me onto him.
Unstoppable, that one was alright. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of that one. Uptown, to me, is one of his most underrated songs ever. Something about that with Bun and Wayne, like they just killed that shit. Sooner Than Later, it's got a good little vibe to it. The Calm, of course, knowing the backstory behind that one. And Congratulations was good too. And actually, one of the first Drake songs I've ever heard was Brand New.
Really?
And heard that on YouTube. I think right before So Far Gone dropped. I think it might have leaked or something. But
so
that was loved hearing that.
To go back for people who don't know the backstory of The Calm and how it came about, you want to tell the story? Do you remember?
Sort of. He was
40 told it on Kevin Durant's podcast.
He was fighting with his family member, right?
On his uncle. I think it was at like 40's apartment. Drake got a call.
He was on the
his
phone.
Uncle, or
didn't he step outside, or was like
on the balcony?
Yep, and he was arguing with his uncle.
And 40 said he was like screaming
like a shouting
hysterically
match.
Angry.
And right after he came back in, recorded that verse, I think in like one
take. Yeah, he said he came right back in. Yep. He was like 40, get in the booth. And he just went off.
That song definitely has some, personal... Oh, dropped something. Personal, moments behind it for Drake, and it's a great song. You can hear his emotion, pouring out of the microphone on that one, and major highlight. Major. So, Matt, what's your fourth?
So, for me, I got Views.
Okay, really? Wow.
I got Views. Kind of like you, at the time, it was super hyped. It kind of reminds me of CLB in a way, the fact that he really took time off in between the last project before he dropped this, which was, if you're reading this, it's too late, right?
Well, the last project was, if you're reading this, it's too late in 2015, so it was a year and...
But Views was like talked about before that project came out.
Yeah.
Kind of the same way like CLB was known, or like the album was known before Dark Lane demo tapes dropped, exactly. Right? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And just going back, it was, I just really started to like it a lot more. I'm looking at it right now. It doesn't feel like an album with 20 tracks. I don't know if you know what I mean, but like, I always thought Views was like 15 songs for some reason.
No, it's a full 20.
I like every single song on this project. I'm looking at it right now. I thought the intro at first was kind of whack. Keep the Family Close, but it's one of those songs that it grew on me. 9 was great. You With Me, especially, hits a little different now that DMX died. Mm-hmm. Feel No Ways was great. Hype was
Rest in peace.
A hit. Western Road Flows. He was, given just that Drake talk. Redemption. It's just every single song I liked. And then kind of, when did Views drop? April of 2016.
Yeah, late April. Yep.
And then like that summer, everyone knows like the summer of 2016. I don't really remember it. But
I remember it. It was fun. It was fun.
Just like hearing Controlla and One Dance all over the radio.
Yep. Controlla, that's a
Controlla especially. And then everyone started to remix it.
Tory had his thing with it.
Yep. It's just hit after hit for me, even though like they might not be claim that way. But Child's Play was great. Fire and Desire, of course. Hotline Bling. So if you asked me this like 2 years ago, Views would probably be eighth, maybe seventh, eighth, or ninth.
Yeah.
But it's just a project I always see myself going back to. So let's hear your third, Michael.
So my third, it's if you're reading this, it's too late. I think it's a perfect mixtape. I think top to bottom, it's easily one of his best projects. Has some major highlights on that mixtape. Know Yourself, loved it. No Telling, loved it. Madonna, Six God, Star 6'7", Used to, Sixth Man, Now and Forever, Company, Jungle. So many good songs on there that I think that just like the surprise drop and like the time it dropped too had definitely an effect on me. You can't forget about Legend, Energy, 10 Bands. Like, damn, I think he was talking a shit on this mixtape.
Yeah,
I think he was like relaxed. It just sound very like up in your face, aggressive, like just kind of, to me, one of perfect mixtape for him to drop at that time. Just kind of let everybody know he's still here. Like, he'll drop a classic mixtape quickly. So,
all right.
Yeah, what's yours?
For me, oh man, you're not gonna like this one either. I put Take Care.
Really? Damn.
But I mean, I'm saying it's his third best project. That's not like too bad.
Nah.
For me, when Drake dropped this was like, okay, he's arrived, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially this was when like Kendrick was coming up too, and A$AP Rocky was big, and a bunch of other rappers. But just great project, absolutely great project, front to back.
Yep.
Not a lot of misses. Some of his most legendary songs. I think the best song he's ever made, Over My Dead Body, which is the intro. Headlines, of course, just to name a few. Crew Love, Take Care, Marvin's Room, HYFR, of course, The Motto. I think maybe he's got some of his like best top 5 songs. The Ride.
Yeah.
And then some songs like Underground Kings were great. Kendrick was on it. His interlude was great.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Knows, Cameras, good ones go interlude. So, I mean, we can go on, but there's not really much to say about Take Care.
That leads us to
top two.
So we're getting there. So, I mean, if, we're going to know now what our number 1 is, but showing you our top 2. So, without further ado, I got Nothing Was the Same for the second one. I think this one, it's one of his most like concise albums, start to finish. Like, it's 15 songs. It's not like, 21, 22 tracks. It's 15, and I feel like everyone hits in a way. I'm not a big fan of Worst Behavior. I know a lot of people love that one, but I'm not really a huge fan of that. But the way it starts with Tuscan Leather, I think that's one of his hardest tracks. He just going off, bro. It's like 3 different songs in one.
Yep.
And the Furthest Thing. Started from the bottom. Yeah. I mean, no, I don't really ever listen to it anymore.
But the fact that it was like such a big hit, you know.
Wu-Tang Forever, underrated. Own It. From Time, it's classic. His storytelling on that one is great. Hold On, We're Going Home. Good song. Connect, highly underrated. The Language.
I agree.
Banger. 05 to My City. Decent, good song. Too Much, great. Pound Cake, Paris Morton music too. I mean, come on. Come Through, good vibey song. Love the second half. All Me.
Right.
Good verses from 2 Chainz and Big Sean. So, Nothing Was the Same, man. Came out 2013, high school days, and the song delivered, bro. Everyone was talking about this when this dropped.
So for me, this was a tough choice. My number 2, it has to be, if you're reading this, it's too late. Tough choice, definitely. But when I'm looking at the track list, it's just every single song, bro. Legend, Energy, 10 Bands, Know Yourself, No Telling, Madonna. Six God is the one track I think that.
Damn, you didn't like that one?
I can
That's
skip.
crazy.
I don't know. The beat's kind of whack. It's a
Really?
little too repetitive for me.
What?
Not a bad song. That's like a track I skip.
Damn.
I don't know why.
Damn.
Star
damn.
67, probably my favorite on the album. Actually, very underrated Drake song. Preach was good. Wednesday Night Interlude, classic. Used to 6 Man Now and Forever. Company. You in the 6 Jungle 6 p.m. New York. Just a great project, bro. You know, he was super focused. I think.
Oh yeah, he was.
He said he always wanted to make just an album with Boy Wonder, who I think produces some of the best Drake tracks. Yeah, let's get to number 1, bro.
Yo, number 1, no question about it. It's Take Care, bro. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. Just that one for me is just it's a classic.
It's not even close. Like it's.
I mean, nah, it's definitely close. I've had some thoughts about that, mixing that up with, if you're in this too late, nothing was the same.
Yeah, your top 3.
I had some, like my top 3, maybe, but I looked at it and like, there's some songs that I'm not the biggest fan of on here, but there's so many songs that just I can't.
It takes over. It doesn't matter.
The time I listen to it, I keep repeating that at the time, but it matters. Like when you first hear something,
absolutely,
and when it's on repeat,
and it's connected with like memories and
like,
stuff.
I've had even recently, bro. I've had like shitty nights. I'm not like saying when, but bro, just the next day or like at nighttime, just throwing on that album, like starting it with Over My Dead Body, then to switch Shot for Me, Headlines.
Which, hold on. Over My Dead Body, his best song, fair to say?
It's his best song. Yeah, it was
That's
my favorite
one thing
song.
we agree on.
Wow, something about it. I mean, we'll get into that another day, but we don't have too much time left. Take Care, the actual song was good. And then Marvin's Room, bro. I mean...
Yeah, we all know
how many sad moments of that dating history and shit I've had with that, like... You know what I mean? It's Marvin's Room, bro. Like, Doing It Wrong, The Real Her... Hell yeah, fucking right. Practice, bro. You just want to throw that song on when you're with a girl. Like,
can't go wrong.
The Ride, Hate Sleeping Alone, Doing It Wrong, Cameras, Good Ones Go. Lord Knows, one of his most underrated tracks for him, just spitting bars. Underground Kings, fucking classic, bro. I can't, bro. The album cover, I mean, it's in my room. I have a poster in my room right now. Like, Take Care. That's it for me. Mic drop.
I mean, I don't blame you, honestly. But for me, like you said, I think a no-brainer. Nothing was the same. Absolutely nothing was the same. For me, I said Over My Dead Body was his best track, but I think Tuscan Leather is his best intro, if that makes sense. Even though it kind of contradicts itself, but like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean, bro. I don't.
Bro, Tuscan Leather.
I get what you're trying to say.
Like you said, it's 3 songs. I think the second part is probably my favorite. And then just the whole way the album flows is crazy. It's just, there's not really a song I skip, except for Worst Behavior.
Yeah,
that's another one we agree on.
We agree that
it's one of his, like,
it's
more
annoying.
popular.
And for some reason, it's annoying. I don't know why.
And I love the producer, DJ Dahi. He's a legend. Produced Money Trees and like a bunch of other, crazy tracks, but
it's annoying though for me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's not catchy. I don't like it. But this is my number 1. So From Time, legendary. The Language, Connect, like you said.
Macy's. It was actually Bloomingdale's, I heard.
Oh, really?
Same shit though.
Connect, like you said, very underrated. The Language, Too Much. Pound Cake, Paris Morton Music too is one of the highlights on this project for me too.
Yeah, dude.
And then Come Through, obviously, All Me.
I can't disagree with you, bro.
Drake said it's his best project. That's not why I picked it, obviously, but it's just how I feel. I think front to back, it's just perfect, bro.
No, I definitely know what you mean. That's why
the way it flows, it's perfect. 15 songs. I mean, any more, if he added a few more, it would definitely still hit. But Nothing Was the Same is number 1 for me.
I got Take Care, and that wraps up our list. Let us know in the comments what you think. Give us your list, and let's have a debate about it. Let's talk about it. You guys might have views number 1. You guys might hate Take Care. I don't know. Just let us know. Make sure to subscribe.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We got some more stuff coming for you guys.
Oh, we got tons of content coming soon. I mean, if you like sports, if you like food, if you like drinking, if you like music, this is the channel for you. I mean, we're gonna drop some fire content soon.
We're gonna post a lot more than just podcasts. You guys will see some visuals,
Doing some vlog
video
stuff.
stuff. So if you want to see more into like our personal lives, check out the YouTube channel.
Yep, and let us know if you have any other things you want to hear from us, or anything else. But I'm gonna wrap it up with that. Matt, any last words?
No, that's it. We'll talk to you guys soon. Let us know how the audio sounds as well, because this is our first time with the new mic. So we'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace.